Ready.
When I say K-pop or K-drama, many of you do not know what I'm talking about. However, in the next few years, you will all know what it means because Korean culture has been on the rise the past couple of years, and expanding its borders into surrounding countries as well as across oceans into the States and South America. There are three aspects of Korean popular culture. There's Korean drama, which is a lot like American dramas, but they put a lot more time into it, and it's the main form of entertainment there, visually. And there's Korean pop, which they have like rock and like all the lower genres. But Korean pop's like their main genre, that's what they all listen to. And then there's tourism, which they try to bring in people into Korea to show their culture and spread it. All these are actually very controversial, especially in Japan, North Korea, and China. There have been riots in Japan at TV stations because it's viewed as unpatriotic to watch Korean dramas by many Japanese. And it's been controversial because Korea is known for pushing their culture, but rejecting others. And North Korea has a ban on all Korean pop and Korean drama. I'm here to tell you that all these obstacles and controversies are becoming overcome, and Korean culture will definitely become mainstream globally in the near future despite opposition in countries like Japan, China, and North Korea. By mainstream, I mean widely accepted by the popular population of the country. And this spread of Korean culture is known as the Korean wave, or the Hallyu wave. And so I'm going to talk about how Korean drama is becoming broadcasted more and more in foreign countries, and with the utilization of the internet, Korean pop has become easily accessible outside of South Korea. Ironically, a key factor of Korean expansion is bringing in tourism because of its positive influence South Korea has on its tourists. So Korean drama, also known as K-drama, has become more and more popular globally in recent years, especially in countries that first invented it. China's Central Television reports that in 2006, South Korean programs on Chinese government TV networks were greater than all other foreign networks combined in China. As you can see, there may be protests, but the number of Korean airings are still growing, and it will be only a matter of time until the percent of Korean drama subsides. North Korea has a total ban on all imports of K-drama and K-pop. However, in recent years, there's become a huge black market for these goods. It shows that despite cultural barriers and laws, people are still doing what it takes to get their Korean goods, and it'll become mainstream soon. Popular Korean magazine All K-pop reports that Korean actors have become second to Hollywood in payroll, making up to $5 million each movie per actor. Due to the internet, as well as K-drama's quality English subtitling, Korean dramas have become even more popular and expanded across seas into new countries. Korean drama is growing exponentially because the world is getting smaller thanks to the digital age, and crossing cultures is now easier. It is only a matter of time until it's on par with American entertainment and accepted culturally as much as American entertainment is here. Korean pop, also known as K-pop, has captured audiences globally over the past years and is steadily growing their fan bases in resistant countries. In recent years, Korean entertainment companies have started to recognize YouTube as a key component to the international spread of Korean culture, allowing them to reach audiences worldwide. YG Entertainment, a Korean record label, has found this to be extremely effective and has grown their fan base drastically since employing such a method. KBS, the Korean broadcasting station radio, states that Korean pop exports are estimated to reach $3.8 billion in 2011. That's a 14% increase from 2010. This increase is the biggest ever and goes to show that the foreign Korean market is growing and reaching a wider audience. The Korean pop group TVXQ made the Guinness Book of World Records in 2009 for being the most photographed celebrities in the world, 500 million times in 1 year. They also have 800,000 fan club members as well as 400,000 international members. 200,000 of them are in Japan, which is one of the countries that resented Korea. And so it shows that the Japanese fan base is growing and it's becoming more and more mainstream. Tourism in Korea has grown as a result of the Hallyu wave and is thus increasing the effects of it. The KTO, the Korean Tourism Organization, states that from 2003 to 2004 alone, tourism increased from 2.8 million to 3.7 million foreign visitors. Bringing in tourists is key to their expansion because people come in and they see their culture and then they bring it back home with them and share it to people. The television content, films, and music have been utilized by the Korea Creative Content Agency into bringing increased interest in the country. The K-pop groups make songs and they make movies trying to bring people in to make it more accepted, more mainstream. The tensions between Korea and Japan have lowered because of the popularity of K-drama, and many Japanese actually go to Korea now to visit the sites where K-dramas are shot. The fact that Japanese are visiting Korea shows that the barriers between them from the past are falling down, and it's a new generation, and their cultures are mixing, becoming more mainstream. In conclusion, the Korean drama entertainment industry is booming and taking a strong foothold in countries originally opposed to it through their broadcasting stations. Korean pop has increased its sales and exports and even produced a fan base in countries that originally resented it. Korea has put a lot of effort into bringing tourism in order to show their culture off and then allowing tourists to bring it back home. There's definitely obstacles that are holding the Korean wave back. However, there's always opposition to new ideas, and I'm confident that the Korean wave will overcome them and become mainstream globally. The facts show it is growing rapidly and becoming more widely accepted, and ask you to even look into it yourself. The Korean wave is coming, and you may as well join it now than later.
All right. You give us good background on what the subject is, and as I'm listening to it, I'm trying to remember what I said to you about the outline and the issue of controversy. And I thought you did a pretty good job trying to develop this idea as being controversial by making reference to the resentments that exist in China and Japan over this and some of the problems that they face. The North Korean marketplace, pretty much they hate everything, so I'm not exactly sure that that makes it as unique and controversial as you think it is, because it's not just the K-pop stuff that's being excluded, it's pretty much everything that's being excluded. Now, the notion that it's the most in-demand items on the black market in North Korea, I think that helps a little bit, but again, I think you need to give us a little more context on that. So when you finally did get to the proposition, I thought that you did a pretty good job identifying something that did have some controversy on it. The setup of the supporting points is basically the three areas that you're talking about. So I know what the structure is, but those secondary points are not really developed as declarative sentences. They're really just indicators or signposts for the material under each of those points. And you want to make much more clear declarative statements so that we can continue to see that there is an argument there. I think you can infer what the argument is from a lot of the data that you present, so there's not a big problem with that if people are listening closely. But remember, not all audiences are as enraptured with your subject as you might be, and people need maybe a little bit of pushing there. I thought you did a nice job presenting yourself as a credible authority on the subject by talking about it fluently, and you seem to be conversant in the different cultural impacts that are going on there. You also had a lot of basic factual data and statistical information that you're presenting to advance your claim. Some of it needs a little bit more of a context. So, for instance, you mentioned the fan club, or there were 200,000 fans in Japan. It was quite controversial. I'm going, 200,000 fans, Japan. What is that? 80 million people? 200,000? Holy, there's a bad joke that I could make there, and I'm not going to do it because I'm not that insensitive. But let's just say, it refers to earthquakes earlier this year. So I think that perhaps you need something that's a little bit more overwhelming there. All right. I think you've set up a good argument here. I just think it needs to be a little bit more convincing on a couple of points. On the presentation, I think you're rushing a little bit. I thought you had a really nice summary at the end of the speech, but then you kind of beat the summary a little bit with this kind of casual, tossed-off exit line that you have. It makes it seem like, I just had to do this. Let me get out of here now. And come on, you can sell this presentation a little bit more. You can make it, this is a subject you're interested in. Don't bail out on it at the end. Make it something that matters to us, too. All right. Thank you. All right, Chidozie, you're going to be next.